What's up, bro? We got a podcast in the metaverse, bro.
Yeah. Who knew that this is what it was all building up to through the entire first season? And now we are here kicking off season 2 with all of you guys, a live studio audience.
Let's go. Every Tuesday.
A podcast. We didn't even know what was happening. We were 15 episodes into this.
It seems to be helping and impacting a lot of people. We'll see you every Tuesday on the Well Metaverse podcast. Peace.
I don't know why I chuck deuces. Like I don't chuck deuces. What was that? Jason Earls.
Aaron Sorrels, what's happening, brother?
Man, it is Tuesday, and it is a big Tuesday. I am stoked for all the day is going to hold. How you doing?
Dude, I'm fantastic. I'm excited too, man. Just man, you said something in that intro video that, I mean, man, we hear this every week, but something stuck out to me that you said this time, man. And it's like, man, who would have thought we would be where we are right now?
Who would have thought?
Dude, and it's like I'm thinking back to some earlier conversation. I mean, man, our first 2 conversations after we met up in the metaverse for the first time. It seems like about 3 years ago, but that was actually just a year ago, like a year
and a couple months, maybe. Yeah.
No, a year and a week, bro.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
It was a year. It was the last month of January.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, the last week of January, last month of January. Yeah, and just looking at, yeah, I mean, all the way up to now, and I mean, to then, to what's happened in the last few weeks, last few months, and then here we are today with this particular show. It's pretty amazing, bro.
Man, it is, and like it really feels like. It feels like there's all this energy right this moment in Meta Horizon Worlds. And it's like, it's kind of scary, but at the same time, it's like exciting. And like, man, just this morning, a Wall Street Journal article dropped. And in there, they talked about increasing the monthly usership from like doubling and a half it. Like that's their goal.
Wow.
So, and they're talking about going to a 2-dimensional platform and allowing people to access it through that. Yeah. Like this is going to be big. Like I just feel it. You know, there's this electricity in the air all the way around. It's just amazing.
I got this feeling.
Yeah. in it.
Yeah.
So good, sorry. How did our viewership just dropped in half?
That's
Oh, speaking of our viewers, we got several people here. Sturminator says, "Hey guys, how's it going? It's going good.
The Sternster. It's good, Stern.
Getting things done. What's good, family? Man,
Jay Dunn's in the building.
Yeah. And,
hey man.
Go ahead.
Albert Jane. No, I'm just like looking at all our friends who popping up in the comments. Folks that we met. Dude, Bulletproof. He's not in here right now, but dude, he asked me to come up to speak your truth this Wednesday.
Cool, man. Yeah, that is cool, and getting things done again. Super excited to catch y'all live again. You picked a good one. Things done.
About time, brother.
Yeah. Annabelle Wright in the house. Hands up. And woohoo, excited for the show. Yes, indeed. Kimberly
Ann.
Yeah, and boy, this is a who's who of the soapstone right here. You got Kimberly Ann. You got Orion Dreams here. Lolly D in the house. Happy Tuesday. Indeed. We're going to see Lolly's got a busy Tuesday today as well. All kinds of good things. Hecky Thompson says hi. Well, my goodness, this is awesome. Look at everybody here. Almagene, here we go. All right, what's up, y'all? From Mr. Frog. Oh, Winnosaurus Rex. He's relatively new to the soapstone community, but
what's up, man? Short arms.
He is there. And
Dennis dude right here.
Dude.
Man, I love Dennis, man.
Yeah. Matter of fact, he's performing at the Soapstone on Thursday. His special is dropping. That's Thursday at 3 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and 11 o'clock Eastern. Good stuff. Chris Rossetti says, San Francisco. All right, we got to bring our guest out here, but we, Corbin, Xavier Strong, check it in.
Man, what it do,
Jimmy
bro?
Glass, yo. Are you here and you're going to change your shirt to flannel now? Okay. All right. I was wondering how long it would take.
First it's suspenders every day, and now it's flannel.
I'm kicking the suspenders. I'm not scared. That's all. And look at who we got here. Sarah Smiley. Can't wait.
What's up,
Golden
sis?
Buzzer Winfield. All right. Sarah is the better half of one of our guests today, and also a big fan of Mike Winfield. Speaking of which, let's bring our friends
we need confetti, bro. I feel like
yeah. All right, let's welcome to the live stream Mike Winfield and Bob Smiley.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple of things. One, I can totally tell that you guys are comics because beforehand you said we're going to go on and do 2 minutes. and like true comedians, like
do we run the light?
Mike, you got to give them the light. And I'm getting heckled by my wife. She's not even here. She's supposed to be on. She said it was a mission trip in Orlando with her best friend.
Yeah.
She said there was like a rodent infested place. I don't know, but he's working for the Lord in Orlando somewhere.
She said we're going to party is our mission. That's what we're going to do.
Man, I gotta give Sarah a shout out too, because like when at that conference that Jason, Bob, and I were at, Bob, when you and Sarah shared the stage, and to see you start strong, and then to see her join you on stage. And see her elevate and just take the show, like that was such an absolutely spectacular thing to witness. I'm a big fan of her.
Yeah, did you notice that it said presentation Bob Smiley, and then they put Sarah's name under it when she joined me on stage, and then little by little her name got bigger and bigger behind me. I didn't even know what was going on, and everybody was dying laughing. And at the end, it just said Sarah Smiley. I was like, okay. I'm the opener now.
I too want to give a shout out to Sarah as well for acknowledging the Golden Buzzer and other things that we'll discuss.
Let's go,
dude.
Just hopping up in the comments,
man. So, Mike, like, tell us, like, how did that feel?
You know what? So I'm on stage on AGT, and I'm really just there to try to have a good set so I can get to the next round. So to be honest, getting the Golden Buzzer was never anything I thought about on the show, because comedians don't typically get that. So as I'm watching it, the show is really highly produced, and you see on the show it's going in slow motion as Simon raises his hand to give me the Golden Buzzer. That's how it was in real life. I was like, this is happening? This is really happening. And so it's going in slow-mo, and it was all surreal because it feels out of body me watching it, but it was one of those things where I was never really, that wasn't a consideration of mine. I just wanted, you're a comic. I just want to be funny, and fans are like, oh, he's funny. And that's normally enough. But this happened, and next level stuff. So it was great.
Okay, but dude, none of us will ever get to experience the Golden Buzzer.
Man, yeah.
So dude, walk us through the emotion of it, man. Like what was really, like, what were you feeling in that moment, bro?
Hey, Mike, before you answer, I haven't even shared this with you. I texted you afterwards and said congratulations, but we were watching it and my kids turned to me and said, wow, his kids must be really proud of him. And then there was a pause, and my oldest was like, by the way, how'd your show go at the retirement center last weekend? They were all super proud of you, but they took the time to slam me a little bit.
Yeah, I love it. They're true professionals. So, what's happening is I go drop my first joke, And I'm like, good. Okay, good. All right, what's the next one? Boom. So I'm rolling into the next one, and I'm like, okay, the energy's good. Stay upbeat. Boom. Now I'm telling the second joke, and I'm like, oh, okay. All right. All right.
Yeah.
And now I'm going into my third one, which I know is very physical. And then I'm delivering it, and I'm like, oh man, this energy, because that's all we want is like that good energy from an audience. And I'm like, oh, this is great. And then the beats are hitting, and it's hitting. And then I finally yell, good night. And this is weird too, because before I even, on my walk out to the stage, I got a standing ovation, right? And that happens to me in Sacramento only, because that's where I started stand-up. So when I go and do my shows, that already happened. So it's like one of those really weird things that it happened on this show. And I'm like, oh, this is crazy. All right, they remember. So now I'm at ease as I go into everything. And boom, I get to that last joke. It's working. I say goodnight. And I'm just like, exhale. You've done it. Hopefully that's enough to, advance to the next round. And then the conversation starts afterwards, and it's all positive. And I'm like, great. And then the man of the hour, Simon Cowell, hops on, and he's just intrigued by not just the energy, but the will. And the will is like a really huge part of just my life in general. And that's what he was moved by. And then boom, it happens. And I'm like, oh, this is like, I'm in the finals now. I'm in the finals for sure. These views are going to be great. So I'll get to book another club somewhere, and I'm like, this is all just unexpected and amazing. And I wish I could tap in harder to just deeper emotion. I'm kind of jaded as a stand-up where I feel often I'm not as affected as I feel like your average human would be. But it meant the world, and I was very grateful to get it, and it's in progress right now. It's still moving.
Yeah.
So good, bro.
Man, I got to tell you, it's been so exciting to just be in your orbit through this. I've been on a number of phone calls with some heavy hitters, and we just have this moment of glee where it's like, man, can you believe we got Mike Winfield right at this point in his trajectory? Like it's so cool, man. And so thank you so much for being a part of the Dry Bar Comedy and meta shows at the Soapstone.
My pleasure.
Yeah, and Bob, you're there too.
Yeah, and I'm I'm there to test the level of silence that can be had.
Actually, I'll tell you what. Of course, your guys' show is airing today, and there's the energy going from Bob, the way that you come out and engage the crowd and get everybody going, and then to roll into Mikey's stuff. Man, it's a good show. It is a very, very good show in kind of a challenging, in a challenging environment to be able to effectively do comedy. And you guys crushed it, man.
Yeah, you were mentioning about being a comedian and not being able to fully enjoy it. It's weird how our careers go through all these different levels and stuff. The first 10 years I was doing stand-up, most of my messages were hey, do you know Tim Hawkins? Can you get him this, thing? And now it's completely flipped where they're asking me if I know you, Mike. So my career it's kind of nice. Get your name on there.
Yeah. Well, this is an exciting time. And Mike, again, so the first time that you and I met, getting oriented to VR, I thought, man, this guy is exactly who he is on television in person. Your persona, everything about you is so genuine. And I think that's why people connect with you so strongly and root for you so much, because you are just this genuinely great person. You're just, nice, glowing with energy. And man, it's so exciting to see these great things happening to you.
Hey man, I really appreciate that, and I mean, that matters to me. Our character matters, like when you're talking to peers and people are talking about you, and if it can line up, that was always the hardest part for me as a stand-up too. I felt like the whole goal was to try to finally become yourself on stage. And the whole time you're trying to get these beats and you're talking about all this wild stuff. And then eventually, if you can be who you've been in front of the people close to you who've always thought you were funny on stage, that's the goal. And I'm finding it somewhere as of late. So thank you. Yeah.
Bro, so how do not only how do we get to that point, but how do we get to the point where we can have those curtains that you got in the back, bro?
That's AGT money, man.
Yeah, that's a great question. But I will say this. Hey, man, we all got a path, and like when I first started, they were like, be clean, and you'll have more success. And they were like, tell your personal story. And then like what we say to young comedians is really going to guide them, many of them. And that's what I was told. I could have been told anything. I could have been told, hey, just be filthy and raw. And maybe I would have went a whole nother crazy, fun, exciting, successful direction. Who knows? But that's what I was told. That's what stuck to me. And I feel like that's just kind of, for me, who I am. And that's why I'm able to get these curtains.
What is that on that thought, man? Like, so what has this meant for your tribe from where you come from? Like,
I'll say this. I started in Northern California, but I'm born in Baltimore. And when I think about like where I'm at and what I lived in within Baltimore City, like just seeing this is something I would have never imagined.
Indeed.
Baltimore is just a very hardcore energy spot. It's very unique. I'm actually going to be there in a couple weeks for the first time, and it's turning into this big homegoing parade thing that I'm really excited about. But like what doors are opening now and just what's happening, it's just things you never imagine. And like that's where we are right now with like the soapstone. Like this is one of those things where it's beautiful. Like once you're in it and you understand the pacing and how to operate and how you can create within there, it's a world that's barely tapped into, that's probably going to amount to one of the biggest venues that comedy holds.
Yeah. There's something really special about this group of people that came together for the Dry Bar Comedy Series with Meta at the Soapstone. It's like when we all connected to come in and do like that, the comedic orientation. Actually, Jason and Bob were there too to just kind of let us run some sets and then get some feedback and then settle in and make it happen. Just the energy and the optimism and the approach of everybody that was involved in that was just incredible. Like this is I was telling Jason, in the intro that it feels like there's so much potential energy right now. There's so much electricity in the air with the metaverse, and it's actually parallel to the things that you got going on, Mike, and the retirement shows that you're doing, Bob. And it's it's just rocketing somewhere that we don't know. And actually I joke a little bit with Bob, but that's only because this dude is so good at everything that he does. like Bob, and in fact on the phone this morning talking to you, that was genuine and legitimate. Like to see the skill set that you have in pulling things together and making things happen, it's really special and it's really unique, especially for comedians, dude.
Aaron, let me add to that. The first time I met Bob, we were in either Vacaville or Fairfield. I think it was Vacaville.
It was Vacaville,
We were at this event, and that was the very first time I saw Bob. And what I remember, and I don't know if I told you this, Bob, I think I have, I saw you start, and you were rocking. And then you kind of kept going. And it just never stopped. And I was like, oh, this is not stopping. And it was just like, bam, 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 bam. And I was like, whoa, this is wild to watch. That everything. It was like a basketball. It was just like do. And it was all hits, bigger punchline, hits. And I was like, oh, all right, well, then this is a great show.
That's why when I saw Bob with the Oculus, I was like, "Oh snap, it's over!" It's like it's over. There goes that man.
Yeah, well, and Bob, like Jason and I, before you even came into the headset, Jason said, you know whose style will fit really, really well with this is Bob Smiley. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody keep finishing your thoughts. This is good. This is
good. Just keep it. Yeah.
No, I remember that in Vacaville.
By the way, your wife chimed in on that. She's never seen you sit still or quiet for that long.
Okay, it's because of her. I know she's watching, and she gets really mad when I just take over a podcast and just jump in. So I was like, I'm gonna let everybody talk so I don't get more heckles and stuff. But we met in Vacaville at that show, and there was about, I don't know, like 8 comics. Dennis Gaxioli kind of put it together and stuff. And I remember you were off to the side and Sarah was talking to you, my wife. And so I came over and like, you were so nice, like just a genuine, like no ego. And I was like, oh, well, so he's not good on stage is what I thought. because, like, usually there's like some ego or something, and then you got up and killed, and then you got off stage and came over and talked to me and Sarah afterwards, and like you were just so nice. And then when you started blowing up on AGT, I thought, okay, well, he's not going to answer my text or anything, and you've always been accessible and encouraging, and it's sad that that's rare in the comedy world, but yeah, I feel like we're all coming together to try to do something new and different. And I'm super excited because there just doesn't seem to be egos involved or anything, except for mine, obviously.
Yeah.
Hey, so
go ahead, Jason.
So both of y'all brothers, man, walk us through, like, for people who watching, who like people, either they're comedians or they're fans of comedy, who watch stand-up comedians all the time. What's the difference that you all saw being on stage live in front of a live audience as opposed to being in front of a live audience with the Oculus on, which we'll see tonight as well?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Let me start. The first key word that stands out the most for me is delay. Because in the room, when you're on stage, like at a live show, but it's like, this feels like a live show too. Like people,
they're right.
You know what I mean? But you're just getting it. It's instant. It's the instant gratification. It's the thing about stand-up that we all have appreciated from day one, is that we know immediately when something goes. Now, this is the same. It's just a minor delay. So you have to pace properly so they can hear all the jokes. So for me, it was just like, okay, this is a punchline. This might be funny. I don't know. And then so I would slow everything down just a hair, just so it can pace out properly and just flow. So I think that was the only difference. And once you figure that out, and then you get the feedback from the audience, you're like, okay, I did it right.
There it is. Yeah.
Because I've seen messages come back in from like things I've done in Metaverse, and they're like, oh, that's great. And I think it's just learning that as a performer for me.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. And one thing that Mike learned really quick was how to move on stage, because we pace around and move. And you do that thing about selling milk, that bit about selling milk. And I was watching you do that, and the way you like even moved your hand out and all that, like you were selling it. You were doing physical comedy on there, and that was a hard thing. Aaron, you remember the first show that I did on the soapstone? I fell off the stage and couldn't figure out how to get back on stage. Well, I'm standing over the side doing, hey, waka, 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 doing my show because I can't get back on stage. So just that comfortable level of like feeling like you're in a body up on stage and you can move where, you know, it kind of flows with the jokes and all that, that took some adjustment. And then, like Mike said, just the delay, there's just like half a second delay. And, you know, I come out guns a-blazing, and I had to really like, that took some adjustment just to be like, okay, I'm going to pause here, and there's the laugh, confetti, and all that kind of stuff. And then, yeah, you can lock into a pace pretty quick if you have like laugh ears, if you're really like patient and listen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. Which again, like the you know, with, I think for both of you, that was one of the first times that you had like really performed in virtual reality. You know, outside of like the test runs and things that we did, and the pacing was great. You know, and again, like there's a double-edged sword with the pacing too, because if you wait too long, like if you're waiting to get the reaction, now the audience, like when they stop laughing, they're experiencing that same 600 millisecond delay before they hear you start your next punchline. So there's really a window there. You know, you got to be stepping on the laughs while you're waiting for them. And again, both of you, I think, accomplished that really, really well. So it's good to work with talented people. When I was talking to Jason when we were all out in LA together, and I was talking to Jason, and I'm like, man, this is fun. Like these people are doing it. And Jason told me, he said, man, this is what it's like to work with professionals. This is what's happening.
Hey, can I just interrupt the subject? I just got a text from my daughter, my third child, and number 3 out of 6, who just got accepted into the program that she wanted to be, that she applied for. So that's huge, man. She's graduating.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Little brother's overwhelmed, man. This baby girl, man. So
yeah. Wow, proud papa right there.
I love that you shared it with you too, like immediately. That means a lot as well. You know?
Absolutely. Yo, that's good.
Yeah.
My oldest son has 2 more months left on probation. So we're getting
celebrate.
Yeah.
Let's go. We believe in you, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Well, man, boy, we've had a lot of comments coming in here too. And you know, everybody is really appreciating everything that you guys are sharing.
Aaron.
Oh, Chris says that he appreciates the talk about the delay because he's still waiting on laugh from jokes he told a year ago.
I've heard Chris's joke, and yeah, it's gonna happen soon, Chris.
Yeah, just keep waiting. Yeah. Good deal.
Hey, Aaron, will you tell everybody the times that our specials are playing tonight?
Absolutely, and I know we're going to wrap things up. We've all got busy days today because you all are doing 3 shows in the Soapstone today.
Wow.
You know, it's there's going to be the 3:00 p.m. Eastern show, the 8 p.m. Eastern show, and the 11 p.m. Eastern show. And in the middle of that, right after the 8 o'clock show, the Soapstone is hosting their weekly Tuesday night trivia, which that's always a great time. So lots happening today. That is for sure.
It's gonna be exciting, man. It's what I love is I love seeing the excitement and the buzz after the show. It's like it's same thing like at a club. That's the amazing thing about doing a comedy show in the metaverse. You get the same thing, the same experience. People hanging out in the comedy club afterwards. If you've never done the comedy club, man, make sure you show up at the Soapstone. It's like you get that experience. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, for sure. You Yeah, I don't know if I scared Mike. And he's like, "Oh, we got shows," but he's back. He's back.
I'm sorry.
Oh man, yeah. So this is super cool. Oh, was that Simon calling you?
Yeah. He wanted to update. He wanted to take back the golden buzzer.
Man, so this was so great. Like I got to tell you, for me, I'm probably the most rookie comedian here. I started comedy about a little less than 5 years ago, and a couple of those years were pretty weird years. And to be here with you guys, seasoned, accomplished, professional comedians, it's just it warms my heart, and I just am so grateful to be a part of this. So thank you guys for who you are. Thanks for being a part of this Well Metaverse podcast and part of the Soapstone and everything we got going on in the metaverse. Any closing thoughts, Jason?
Man, to you, Mike, I just say, man, congratulations. And man, I pray that, man, God allows you to just maximize every aspect of this opportunity, bro. It's great. I mean, you look at the amount of people viewing every episode. And so, man, I pray that God allows you to just go to a whole nother level. And we just watch and cheer you on, man. And Bob, dude. Yeah, and Bob, just dude, I always appreciate Bob. Yeah. Yes, dude, your genuineness, dude, the way that you consistent in your love and support, and you're funny, dude, is always great, dude. So
that's what I love about all this is like we're all rooting for each other.
Absolutely.
We're all excited about what, like Mike said, we all have different paths and stuff, but it's great that we're kind of intertwining every once in a while and just like rooting for each other.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Indeed. Thomas Winter says, surrounded by greatness. And Randy also says that I need to borrow some t-shirts from Bob. That's what's made him so successful. And then the perfect.
That's not going well. The shirts sometimes are there for filler. People can at least enjoy that.
It's just a fail safe. Yep.
Yeah.
And Alma says, see you tonight. Woohoo. Indeed. Some applause here for us as well. This has been great. You guys, thanks for being a part of Well Metaverse. Thank you everybody who tuned in to watch. We'll see you in the Soapstone all throughout the day today. So thank you everybody. We'll catch you next week.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, thank you.
See you guys.